Hello and welcome to episode 6 of our Imperial campaign. In the last episode, we did a good job of securing all these backline planets that we lost by bringing in Jada. We're also building a lot of our ground forces, which we got to continue on doing as my ground forces are pretty much left to nothing. In this episode, I want to do the mission for episode 5, which is to send our probe droids to the planets Anawat, Hoth, and Mustafar, and try and take out the space stations over Anawat, Mustafar, Silisban, and Utapau. We also, while we do that, since we're going to be taking out most of the space stations, I want to continue building up a lot of ground forces. So over here, let's get some ATSTs. We also need to continue to work on our space forces. So we're going to go ahead and build another advanced cruiser warship dockyard there, and then we're going to build a warship dockyard here as well. There is the cutscene from episode 5, as we have discovered that the rebel base is on Hoth. The collected information indicates that the rebel base is located in the Hoth system. Lord Vader personally ordered Admiral Ozzel to prepare a full-scale attack. Send a fleet, including Darth Vader and Admiral Ozzel, to the Hoth system and conquer the planet. Deploy Darth Vader to the ground of the Hoth system to complete the objective. Now, I do want to do that, but first I'm going to take the space over Anawat, Mustafar, Silisban, and Utapau. Then I'll circle back and take Hoth. Now, the reason why I'm doing that instead of directly taking Hoth first is because in A Awakening of the Rebellion, you lose Admiral Ozzel once you have taken the space over Hoth. Because if you remember in episode 5, somebody, being Admiral Ozzel is that somebody, he launches the fleet too close to the Hoth system that alerts the rebels, and the rebels are able to put up their shield generator. So Vader, in return, force chokes Admiral Ozzel, and he dies. So, as you can imagine, we lose the Star Destroyer. We lose the entire Admiral Ozzel Star Destroyer because of, Vader being Vader. So I'm going to avoid that for right now. I'm not going to avoid it for the entire campaign because that's kind of unfair, but I will avoid it until we take the rest of these rebel planets in this sector. And we'll go ahead with a victory. They're going to retreat from this battle pretty quickly because they have a bunch of freighters, and they don't want to lose those freighters. So, sooner or later, they're going to retreat from this battle. Kill that cloak shape. Come on, team. Get the cloak shape. There we go. So that's a really cool feature of this mod, being able to see that they actually have it to where the events from the movies have ramifications on your campaign. When Admiral Ozzel gets force choked, you permanently lose him in your campaign. And we obviously will lose the Star Destroyer that he is in as well. Surprised they haven't retreated yet. Maybe they won't retreat. See, let's see if we can actually take out some of these. Oh, there they go. There's their freighters over there in the back, the GR-75s. So not a surprise they wanted to retreat those guys out of here. Get them away. I'm actually going to save this battle after it because I've been crashing a lot. A lot of crashes lately, so make sure that we save every now and then. Should have a save called episode 6 ready to go. There we go. Save over that. And let's continue our siege of these other planets. I'm going to blockade Anawat so they can't rebuild a space station here. And then we'll keep pushing towards Mustafar, Silisban, and Utapau. In the meantime, let's go back up north here. I'm going to build the second warship dockyard here. And Corellia, Coruscant. Let's get a moth palace on Coruscant so we can build up some heroes. And then we're out of credits. Let's go ahead and build a third unit of shock trooper platoons. Really, really elite infantry that we're going to want when we're starting to take out these planets on the ground. Because we don't have a ground force yet right now, since we've lost a lot of my ground forces over the last few episodes, but we still have a space force, what I'm going to do is take the space over all these planets and then retake the ground over them once we have ground troops again.
Ready for command, sir.
This could be a little bit of a dangerous fight. They have an XQ-1, as well as some extra ships coming from that technology building. Or I don't think that's a tech building, that is a advanced dockyard for them. So they'll have a few extra ships in this battle, as well as the XQ-1, and it's a level 2 space station, but overall it shouldn't be too difficult of a battle. From what we can see, they also did not spawn in any capital ships from their reserves, which is nice.
Move out. Right way.
Alright, we'll bring in one victory class, and then we'll just leave that. Let's go ahead and push you guys forward. Victory, your job is to take out the XQ-1. Looks like they got 3 Nebula Bs, 2 bulks, some CR-90s, a Dreadnought in the back there, another bulk cruiser coming up.
We're having difficulty tracking them.
Alright, slow it down. Let's get our fighters. Stop going after 1, please. Thank you. TIE Brutes, you guys can take those guys out. It's only 1. 1 singular X-Wing still alive.
Ready for battle.
Let's push up these guys. Let's see if we can take out some of these Brahatoks. Maybe I should bring in a Carrick to help out, take out some of these guys. You're off in the distance, so why don't you go over there and take that thing out? Oh, Ozzel, where are you going? This is why you get force choked, Ozzel. This is a great example of why Ozzel gets force choked. He's a terrible admiral. It doesn't tell us where he got his status from, and I don't know off the top of my head. It's not something that's in my Star Wars knowledge, but I'm assuming that Ozzel basically got his admiral ranking just because of like his parents or something that he did where he doesn't really deserve that. That's what I imagine happened to Ozzel, and that's actually some of my favorite things about the Empire. I love how they just kind of have. I love the politics of the Star Wars Empire. It's really fascinating to me. I love seeing how you kind of have to cheat other people in order to rise in rank. I really think that's a really cool feature of the Empire when it comes to Star Wars. Overall, this wasn't too hard of a battle. They got semi-close to taking out this Venator, but our DPS is so strong right now in comparison to what they have technology-wise, so we're able to pretty easily destroy them. And with that, we have taken 2 of their space stations already. One good thing about another good thing, other than the autosave feature of that 1 Empire at War update, is how fast it is to save. It is not at all taking long to save. We will go ahead and blockade this planet as well as we continue to push towards Celis Van. In a previous episode, I can't remember if it was the last episode or the episode before. Yeah, it should have been the episode before it. I think episode 3. We talked about the balancing of Awakening of the Rebellion. Okay, they have a lot of stuff here. They have an XQ2, an XQ1, and an MC-80, as well as some other stuff. So this is definitely going to be the hardest battle we've had probably in the whole campaign. But back to what I was saying, we actually talked about the balancing of Awakening of the Rebellion. And we had a really, really cool comment from somebody. Ooh, we can capture stuff on this planet. Let's see what we can capture over here. And we will go ahead and push up our fleet. Ooh, let's go ahead and push up everybody up here. If we can manage to take out this XQ2 before that MC-80 Freedom gets here, that'd be really, really helpful. Ozzel. I put Ozzel in the back here because he has his boost engine power ability, so he can get up here really fast. You guys go ahead and push up. See if we can take out this XQ2 quickly. Yeah, let's go ahead and bring in the victory over here. I'm down to bring in a Carrick. Let's see what we can capture over here. I wonder what there is over here. So back to what I was talking about with the comment. He commented and basically said, yes, there were 10 patch notes pages in the last update, which is true, but they did add a lot of units. He is correct. They did add a ton of units for the Black Sun in that previous update, but his other question was kind of like, what would you add for the Rebellion and the Empire? They pretty much added most well-known ships for the Rebellion and the Empire, and even a lot of ships that aren't as well-known. So he asked me what would I add to the Rebellion and the Empire? And my thing was, it was a good question, right? It was a very valid question. They have added pretty much everything that there is that is fairly well known for both the Empire and Rebellion. So one thing that they could do, and I don't see them doing this, from my knowledge of what the developers want to do with this game, I don't see them doing this. But what they could do is have a grand campaign happen before the Death Star's destruction, the first Death Star destruction. So this is the grand campaign that we're playing right now, and it starts off after the destruction of the first Death Star. Looks like there might not be anything for us to capture over here. Okay, here we go. We have an MC-75. Let's see if we can capture this thing. That'd be really nice. What do we have over here? Let's get these ties over here. We need some anti-fighter duty up here. It's risky bringing her in, but I'm going to go ahead and bring her in. She's really, really good at killing fighters, and that's kind of what we need right now. Man, we might lose this Carrick to some freaking, like, 2 squadrons of X-Wings over here. That's going to be embarrassing. But what I would love to see is them add, and like I said, I don't see them doing this, but what they could do is have a campaign start before the Battle of Yavin, before the first Death Star's destruction. And what you could do there is include a lot of the Republic's ships. And maybe what you could do is have some, instead of having the Black Sun, is you could have the remnants of the CIS. So you have a smaller amount of rebels, and instead of having a bunch of rebel cells all over the galaxy, you have a few rebel cells, kind of during the time of where the show Andor came out, so there's a little bit of rebellion going on, but maybe you have a bunch of remnants of the CIS. And over time, the rebels start taking over more planets, and then as the Republic, now turned into the Empire, you yourself are taking over a lot of Republic ships and turning them into Imperial ships. So from there you can add in a bunch of Republic ships. I love the Fall of the Republic mod. I'm not a big fan of Thrawn's Revenge, but I do like the Fall of the Republic mod. And there are a ton of ships in that game that could easily be added to this one. You've got your different counselor ships and all of those. And my MC-75 is dying over here. I don't understand why ships do that, but sometimes when you capture a ship, they just die. I don't really understand that, but oh well. Looks like Vader might actually die in this battle. We gotta do some more damage to their dreadnoughts. If we can kill their dreadnoughts, he should be able to live. They don't have very many dreadnoughts left. Alright, Oswald, you can go ahead and start pushing north. Let's have this Minotaur go ahead and start pushing north. This Minotaur go ahead and start pushing north. Let's get some bombers helping out. We need to just finish off this daggone Dreadnought. I don't want to lose Vader in this fight. That'd be really, really bad. Don't think we will, though. Bombers keep helping out. Fighters keep going over here. Gotta take out these Y-Wings because they're starting to hit Vader as well. But yeah, it would be really, really interesting to see what would happen if they were to include some sort of pre-Yavin 4 campaign. Even with that said, they could just include a bunch of Republic ships, you know, into the Empire, have them start off just like how we start off with a couple of Minotaurs and some Acclimators from the Republic. If they wanted to, they could have some more Republic, some more Republic ships start off with that aren't buildable, but you kind of start off with them. You could also do that with ground units as well. You could have a couple of ground units start off here as the Empire, but they maybe aren't buildable. Yeah, I think that would be a pretty cool feature. It was a solid question, though. You know, what would you add? So that's kind of my question to you guys. Would you be open to some sort of campaign before Yavin 4? Obviously, that would be a major update from the AOTR devs, but it's always fun to think about what could happen. Let's get all of you guys focused on this X-Wing squadron. The Rebellion has a lot of ships they could add, I suppose, too. And you're obviously talking a lot of ground troops as well. There's a lot of ground troops, I assume, you can build. I'm pretty familiar with Star Wars, but there is a lot of stuff with Legends and some of the older video games. I played a lot of the older games. You know, I played Force Unleashed 1. I've played through the original Battlefronts. I played through most of KOTOR. But like Star Wars Galaxy, I've never played through. Even the Rebels game, the Rebel Starfighter game, that's pretty popular. I've never played. I just downloaded, actually, Star Wars Republic Commando, and I can't seem to get the settings to work. I'm not sure if that's a well-known thing or what's up with that, but the settings for that game are just kind of broken. But it was fun for what I played. I'll probably end up finishing it. It's not unplayable, but it's kind of rough. I'm not gonna lie, it's kind of rough. Surprised they haven't retreated yet. I figured they would have retreated by now. Let's have my victory take out this XQ1. I'm just gonna have Vader just kind of chill out here. I don't want him to die. And then these guys can do their thing up here. I don't know what y'all are doing down here. Let's go ahead and have all of you guys help out with the destruction of this thing. But I think the best thing that they could do, if they were to want to add a lot, like a massive update like 2.10 was for the Black Sun, if they wanted to add that big of an update for the Empire and partially for the Rebellion, they could do some sort of pre-Yavin 4 campaign. I think that would be really, really interesting. But yeah, the question he asked me was, what unit would I add for the Empire and the Rebellion? And then that was my long talk about that. But what unit would you add for the Rebellion and the Empire? It's a decent question. Alright, with that, we have taken the space over Sullust Van. We have actually gotten a Corellian battlecruiser. That's really, really nice. We have a Hunt Shipyards mission. Well done, Commander. This will slow down their military, as we have just taken out a couple of their advanced dockyards. The ship we have captured for research does not provide any new technology. The Emperor has given you command over it. Maybe you have use for it. Yes, I do. Now, where did you give me that? Let's pause it. Here it is. It's a Corellian battlecruiser, which we've seen the Black Sun use a lot of these. They're basically Victory 1s. They're a little bit tankier than Victory 1s, but they kind of perform the same type of role. With that, we're going to go ahead and attack Utapau from here. Let's go ahead and make sure that we blockade Sullust Van. Now, what taking Utapau's space does is it opens me up to attacks from the Black Sun. Now, that will relieve pressure from Naboo. A lot of their fleets have been smashing against Naboo, so maybe they'll attack Utapau. For now, I'm going to keep my fleet over Utapau, while the next episode and the rest of this episode, I'm going to attack the ground of these three planets and Utapau as well. So we're going to take Utapau's space, take the ground over all of these planets that we just took, and then I'm going to pull out my space from Naboo, or not Naboo, from Utapau, which is where we're on right now, attack Hoth, capture Hoth on the ground, and then from there, we will take the Black Sun planets to the east. I actually have an MC-80 right here. That's kind of unfortunate. MC-80 is a really, really good unit for the Rebellion. It has that bubble shield ability, and I'm assuming they spent a lot of time perfecting that ability, but that is exactly what it is. That ability is perfect the way it is. It looks absolutely phenomenal. It performs extremely well. It does what they want it to do, which is have the lasers hit off of it and not go through it and actually look pretty. So that it does its role, and it looks really, really good while it does it. So kudos for them to sticking with it. Obviously, it was taken out of the game. For those who don't know, the bubble shield was actually taken out of the game because it was a little broken and it wasn't functioning the way they wanted to. But kudos to them for sticking with it. Let's have both of these victories target the hull of the Alliance medium shipyard.
We're having difficulty tracking them.
Let's get all of you guys. Y'all can just kind of sit right there. That's fine. Let's get my TIE interceptors and my TIE fighters. Vader. All of you guys push up here. Go ahead and make you guys my group 2. Group 2, I want you guys to try and take out the MC-80 Freedom. Fighters, take out their fighters. Bombers, y'all can just do whatever you want. Alright. The victories should be in range. Yes, they are. Go ahead and hit full salvo. You guys are getting close to being in range. Fighters are doing a decent job at taking out their fighters. They have a lot of bombers. Still looking to build Lancers. If we can start finally building some Lancers, we won't have to worry so much about these bombers avoiding my main fighter squadrons. So having some Lancers will definitely help us out a lot. I believe we have the technology for it. Now we just got to go out of our way to build them. Alright, this MC-80 Freedom is taking a lot of damage, so is... Well, not really. This thing hasn't taken too much damage yet. Come on, Victory Warrens. Do your job. Let's go. We're not doing too bad. I was worried that the Empire's weakness was going to be taking out Nebulon Bees and Dreadnoughts, but we've had enough Acclimator damage and Dreadnoughts to help take out these guys. The Dreadnoughts are pretty hittable with our main turbo lasers from our Venators and our Star Destroyers, but we still miss about half of our shots. So I want to make sure that we have some sort of major damage dealer to Dreadnoughts and Nebulon Bees. And with that, we have taken out the space forces of all these rebel planets. And I just got some sort of alert. I don't know if y'all heard that. That was really loud. I have no idea what that was. I don't recognize that sound. Alright, let's go ahead and make sure that we save it. Alright, perfect. We have already taken the space over all these planets. We need to keep working on our ground facilities. We don't quite have that ready to go yet. You're not quite ready to go. Let's go ahead and build a couple of TIE Striker units over the ground of this. Let's go ahead and group up our ground forces onto Corellia. And we'll see what we're working with. And see if I feel comfortable trying to push down south again. Over Kuwait, we don't have a level 3. Let's go ahead and sell this guy and start working on a level 3 factory here. That's going to be really, really important. You can go and hit the deck there. On Radilli, we are building the second one of these, which is nice. That will allow us to build up our Lancers that we want. Let's go ahead and actually get a couple of Lancers going. And some Gladiators. Some Gladiators are going to be really helpful for that anti-Dreadnought, anti-Nebulon B roll that we were talking about. And our ground forces. We're not doing too bad. I'm going to hold off a little bit longer while we continue to build some more ground forces. Let's remove the Alliance Envoy here. Maybe not here. Let's do it on... Nope, not there. Let's do it here. Let's get some corruption removers as well. Alright, so they have space tech going up, some ground tech going up, and IG Droid Revolution. I'm assuming that's Tech 3 that they're building. As well as the Rebels are hitting us here on Eriduce. With a pretty massive fleet. Not huge, but a pretty big fleet. Managed to take out a Y-Wing. That whole fleet got built up, I think, just on these 3 planets. That's kind of scary, actually. Let's get a space station going on that Ziri. I wonder if I should take out that fleet. I'm probably not going to. I'm probably going to hold off from it. Alright, we're working on the TIE Strikers here. Falleen is also getting hits from the Black Sun. That's a pretty decent fleet. They've got a lot of capital ships there. Slightly scary, but not too bad. Our battlecruiser has... That's going to be really nice. So we have 2 massive fleets that just hit our planets. But what is nice is we just bolstered our fleet with an entire another capital ship here. Developed before the Clone Wars, the CEC's battlecruiser was intended to be a long-term investment for wealthy planetary forces. Production of these such vessels have since been banned by the Empire, but they are still common sight around the galaxy. They are more than capable of facing against modern cruisers and capital ships, thanks to their powerful array of turbolasers and rocket launchers. We have already killed a couple of those in this campaign, and now we have some of our own. Alright, we have unlocked Tech 3 of the warship tech, so I want to get that so we can get our IST-2s going. On Kuwait, I'm going to spend the rest of my credits on Kuwait. We're actually going to go ahead and build up both of my advanced fighters here so that I can get our ISD-2s with the advanced fighter complement, which is going to be really, really nice. And they have already hit Naboo as well. Wow. They were hitting Naboo with that same fleet. Okay, we'll probably lose Naboo. I'm not too concerned about that. We knew that we were going to be taking planets and losing planets. That's the ebb and flow of this campaign. That's how it goes. You take some, you lose some. Let's remove the corruption here and neutralize that hero both. Or maybe not. I definitely just had to remove that hero and it didn't do it. Alright, they're taking the ground over Naboo. We actually managed to take out a Black Sun commander. That's pretty good. And we have been paid once again. Have we gotten the ground tech? Yes, we have. Perfect. Let's get some TX-130s. These are some decent multi-duty purpose units. Let's see what it says. As a repulsor tank, it is highly maneuverable, able to strafe targets as well as it moves, which allows it to continually dish out damage. The TX-130T possesses a dual laser cannons, dual missile launchers, and a beam cannon. It is highly mobile and a very effective tank destroyer. It actually says it's a tank destroyer, which isn't a surprise since it's got those missile launchers. Aw, man. Prototype is usually a really, really good mission, but we're only going to get some XG1s. We'll go ahead and do it because I want to keep our fear up a little bit on Aragao. We've already got him on Aragao. So we got some XG1s. They're advanced fighter squadrons is what they are. They're pretty good. They're basically X-Wings, but for the Empire. Alright, fear is up +5. What's our fear level at? It is at 27, so we're not doing very good on fear. Gotta keep building up our ground forces. That's what we're doing right now. We're mostly waiting on... Oh, let's go ahead and get some ATSTRs. That's going to be really, really good. And then we should be able to afford this. Yeah, 10,000 for... We're about to unlock Tech 2 for our infantry, and then from there we're going to go ahead and invest into Tech 3 of our heavy or light vehicles. And with that, we're going to head and group up our ground forces one more time, and then start taking the planets and stop wasting so much time in the galaxy map. How are we doing on this gladiator? 89%. We're also going to probably wait for this guy as well. These guys are actually really important, the ATAAs, but once we get Tech 3 of our ground forces, we'll be able to build these guys, the ATMAAs, which is basically the same thing, but it's a little bit more technologically advanced. They're actually raiding us here on Devron. We're going to sell these two guys and then just group up my ground forces right here and easily take that back. So let's go ahead and send these ground forces in. They raided the wrong planet at the wrong time. Little did they know I have a bunch of ground forces just sitting here ready to go. ATSTRs are building. We're building this. The ATAAs, like I was trying to say, are really, really important, but I am building... I'm going to wait till I have the advanced ATAAs, which are a little bit better. They're actually a lot better, honestly. They have missiles that target the enemies and are really, really effective. So here's the biggest problem of the ground forces that we have replenished. All of these units, whether it's the shock troopers, the ATSTs, the ATPTs, and the SPMAT, these are all anti-infantry units. So we need to focus on anti-vehicle units, which is what we're building now, obviously. The ATSTRs are really good. TIE Strikers are decent at taking out some vehicles. Those hover vehicles that we're building are also going to help us out a lot at taking out vehicles. ATSTs are not bad at taking out vehicles, but the ATSTRs are definitely more designated to taking out vehicles. Ooh, they have a bunker turret right there. That's kind of awkward. I was hoping this would be a pretty easy battle. I have to find where they're at. So that's the problem with me replenishing my ground forces without the advanced technologies that I want to have built, is all of these guys are anti-infantry. So across from the ATSTs that we've got built and Veers, General Veers, we pretty much have only anti-infantry stuff. But the one plus side to that is, even though I don't have technology yet to build some high-level vehicles, the AI doesn't either. The Rebels don't have good things quite yet either. Alright, let's get you guys. We're going to have to take out this bunker turret. We're probably going to lose a lot of ships trying to, but... So this is going to be a little bit more of a costly fight than I wanted it to be. We've already lost a few of my ATSTs. And with that, we are victorious. So they took Devron from us. They managed to take out one of my ATST squadrons, which is not very nice of them. But that's okay. We do have enough payment to get Tech 3 of these guys. We'll go ahead and get Tech 3 infantry as well. And with that, that is actually all of the infantry, vehicle, and aircraft tech that we need for the rest of this campaign. So as long as we don't lose any of those, we will have our ground technology fully maxed out, and we're actually getting pretty close to having our space technology maxed out as well. So we're looking really, really good on this campaign. The only problem is, the last couple episodes, including this one, we've spent so much money on infrastructure and technology that we haven't bolstered our ground units all that much, as well as our space units. But that's what we're doing right now, is bolstering those forces, which is really nice. We also just got paid once again. We could go with, oh yeah, let's go over here. We were going to build Lieutenant Talk. He has LAATs, which is really good. And we'll go ahead and build Commander Tashkin as well, an ATRT hero. And with that, we just got paid once again. We'll go ahead and build Mr. Heggett here, or however you pronounce that. He allows us to have a Dreadnought, or not a Dreadnought, what are those things called? Yeah, Dreadnoughts, which is really, really solid. Let's read his description. Heggett once commanded one of the most decorated special missions battalions during the period before the Stormtrooper Corps was fully introduced. He has since transferred a new command specialized in wilderness survival, special recon, and ATST combat tactics. He currently coordinates his men on an HAV A6 Juggernaut, which is nice. We're actually going to go ahead and invest into an Imperial Palace here as well. They're going to take the space over bringing, that's okay. I didn't even bother to build an outpost here because we knew that they were going to take this back pretty easily. That does semi-rush up my plans a little bit. I might want to speed this up a little bit, which is exactly what we're doing actually right now. Is oh man, they're taking Eridu as well. Okay, nice. They don't actually have their whole fleet here. That's actually pretty good to see. Oh, I'm praying we do not crash in this battle. I might actually auto-resolve this battle to make sure that we don't crash. I'm curious to see, what will we spawn? We spawn 2 gladiators, which is so good. I can't remember if I've talked about this yet. So, one of my favorite... I might have talked about this, so if I repeat myself, I apologize. But one of my favorite features of Awakening of the Rebellion is, as you tech up, the things that the spaceships that spawn in your units tech up what they spawn in as well. So because we have now reached Tech 2 of cruisers and frigates, we are now spawning in gladiators in our space station defense battles. I freaking love that feature of this mod. This is a massive fleet. They have a lot of capital ships here. We don't have enough firepower to take out a single capital ship. I'm just going to try and take out something else. I feel like the Munificent is probably my best target here. Let's try and take out this Munificent. I don't know what these guys are firing at. I never told them to fire at that. Alright, change of plans. Let's go after this Captor. The Captor is pushed way farther up than the Munificent did, so we can probably take out this Captor pretty easily here. We're going to have a little sneak peek of what these gladiators can do, as we have just now built some of them for our own fleet, which they are really, really good at this exact thing, taking out such, like, Captors. Some of their medium-sized ships that are Star Destroyers might be slightly inaccurate towards, but they're also really, really good at taking out stuff like Corvettes. And looks like we might actually not be able to take out that Corvette. Okay, let's go ahead and auto-resolve. We did take out the Captor, which is going to make recapturing Aradu a little bit easier. I want to make sure that we take out this fleet before the enemy can take the ground over this planet. We already made an episode 6 save, which is nice. My units have arrived. Let's go ahead and immediately attack Aradu before their ground troops can get here to take it out. My ground forces have finally grouped up over Alien. We're going to wait for this guy and before we take Mustafar, but we can go ahead and take Alien or Anawa on the ground. Perfect. Okay, this is going to be a big battle. Big battle right here. This is the first major fleet engagement that we've had this campaign. But what is nice is we just got the reinforcements. So we actually have our battle cruiser right here. We also have our one gladiator that we built, as well as a couple of lancers. I'm going to go with a strange fleet right here. I'm going to go with 2 victories.
For the glory of the Empire. Combat maneuvers
My battle cruiser.
coming about.
And 2 Venators.
Moving to coordinates.
And then we'll put my Gladiator right here.
For the glory
We'll
of
put
the
a
Empire.
Dreadnought right here. We'll put an Acclimator in the back. And then we'll put a Lancer over here. So it's a bit of an abnormal space fleet, right? What do you provide? She's actually not even a hero. She doesn't provide any bonus. So I don't have a bonus in this fight, which is kind of scary. I wish I kind of brought Invader for his 10% Admiral bonus, which would be really, really useful in this battle. But this left side of my fleet, these 3 guys are my missiles. And then this right side, including the battle cruiser, which comes with a little bit more of the dual heavy turbo lasers and medium turbo lasers, as well as the Venators, will be a little bit more
Yes, Commander.
on the turbo laser damagers.
Awaiting your orders.
I don't think damagers is a word, but that's okay.
Awaiting your command.
Alright, group 3, go ahead and push forward. Let's slow it down. So this is the first fight we're actually going to get to see our Lancers in combat. They are great anti-fighter duty. As you can see, they just spray anti-fighter shots at these dudes. Really, really good screeners. So he'll be able to just sit there and just take out fighters this entire fight. I'm semi-worried about that Munificent. It's a long-range ship, so it's probably just going to sit back there and just shell us from a distance. Group 1, or actually Group 3, sorry. Group 3, go ahead and push forward.
Form up. Commencing
Start taking out some of these enemy fighters up here. Let's get these bombers over here. Alright, Group 1, I'm going to go ahead and push y'all forward. Group 1, your goal is to take out this battle cruiser. Target the hull and take this thing out. Group 2,
Awaiting your command.
you can be Group 2 as well. Group 2, your goal is to take out this Minotaur. Group 1, let's refocus y'all up a little bit. What do we have here? We have the boost engine power on our battle cruiser. Definitely not an ideal ability. Not something that's going to really help us out here at all. Certainly wish it has something like a full salvo ability, which would be much more useful. Group 2, reposition yourself once again. Where's my Acclimator at? Ooh, my Acclimator pushed in really far. Go ahead and try and take out this Trireme Corvette. That's pretty much what you've been doing this whole campaign, is taking out Trireme Corvettes. If the only casualty we take in this battle is this Dreadnought, I will be perfectly okay with that. Acclimator's doing a decent job. Lancer, you're taking a little bit of damage. Let's hope these Interceptors can do a decent job of that super fight. Nice. Our bombers are doing a really, really good job of taking out this battle cruiser. Our battle cruiser's taking a little bit of damage. We're actually probably going to lose this guy as well. Alright, the first Minotaur on the enemy side has been destroyed. That's good news. Let's go ahead and get our Minotaurs and Gladiators targeting the next one. We also lost that Dreadnought. Let's go ahead and bring Invader. Just right on top of this guy. We have also taken out their first battle cruiser, Group 1. Great job. Let's go ahead and target you guys onto the Providence right here. Just as we brought in Vader, they have brought in another
We'll scan the area immediately.
Minotaur way in the back there, which is nice. We'll have a little bit of time before he gets up here in this main fight. Like I said, I was a little... Let's go ahead and actually have this Gladiator try and target this Longhorn. Gladiators come with 2x4 burst assault missiles, which are really, really good. So hopefully he'll be able to take out this Longhorn. Oh yeah, those missiles are doing a decent amount of damage. Not bad. I can have a bomber squadron help you out a little bit as well. Fighters, go up here and help out. Where's my Lancer at? Okay, Lancer's still doing a decent job. Glad to see it. Ooh, they're retreating. Pause it quickly.
We're having difficulty tracking
Alright, all units take out the engines of that thing. We actually already completely destroyed that unit. Alright, I'll be satisfied if we can manage to take out the engines of this ship before it retreats. Which we managed to do so. So, not a bad battle from us at all. I'm not mad at it. As long as we didn't lose a Venator, which we might have. No, we didn't. Perfect. We lost 1 Gazanti, 1 Dreadnought, and 1 Acclimator. We took out 4 capital ships on their side, as well as a Longhorn and a Tyrene. We actually took out that Longhorn. Shows how strong these gladiators can be when they're in the right spot. And man, we barely beat out this ground force, which is good news. We took out a decent amount on their auto resolve. One thing that we definitely need to work on is preventing them from retreating through the means of a some sort of interdictor cruiser. We definitely need to work on our interdiction ability. And with that, we're going to go ahead and end this episode here. We did a great job of taking out a lot of space forces. That was the biggest battle we've had so far in the space, but we did take out most of their fleet, as well as we didn't lose anything major in our fleet. We also have a massive rebel fleet sitting over here, which they actually connected. Wow, so whatever rebel fleet they have now connected all of these rebel planets to all of these rebel planets. So we're going to have to be ready for a massive rebel fleet battle. But in the next episode, we can expect a lot of ground battles as we take Anawat, Mustafar, and Silisban. Appreciate y'all watching, and drop a comment on what I was talking about earlier. What unit would you guys add for the Rebellion and the Empire?